Hi guys, Pixel Gamer here, and I've got another video for you. So today I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch, which is mine. Here's mine, my neon blue version of it. So I wanted to talk about some of the features that I've liked, some I haven't liked, some I think that are pretty terrible. So I've written a full review. You guys can go check that out on the website, which is pixelgameruk.com. I'll link it in the description below. Please hit the like button as well and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to me before. So apologies, first of all, poor video quality. I look half asleep. That's because I pretty much am. I wanted to get this video out. It's been waiting for a while. I've had to switch in for a couple of weeks, so pretty much just been playing Zelda on it. I've got Snipper Clips, which I haven't had the time to play. I want to play. I'm going to try to play that one with the missus. That's going to be the acid test of really how good this console is for mainstream, to be quite honest. So we're going to be doing that. So the version I got, so I got the blue and red one. Initial impressions, really like it. So I think in the hand, it feels really good. Sometimes this happens, which is a pain, and it's to do with how I grip it. So I tend to grip this Joy-Con quite heavily, and sometimes my finger hits the little button. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little button, and it pulls it out, which can be a bit of a pain. So other than that, though, it does clip in. It doesn't make the switch sound, but it clips in, and it's good. So generally quite like it. Other stuff that's pretty good about this. So it's quick. So the UI, and I don't know if it'll show up very well on camera, but you turn it on from standby mode. You tap button 3 times, and within no time, hit the button 3 times, Scott. You're back in with the UI, and the screen on it, which this video will do absolutely zero justice. It is really good. It's really clear, really vibrant. I found that I'm playing it a lot in handheld mode. So I've got obviously the dock connected to the TV, but I find that in handheld mode I'm getting more functionality and use out of it. Especially say the wife's watching TV, or I want to move on the train or somewhere, and this is what it's really working for me. So for me, the Nintendo Switch is a handheld console, and that's where I'm looking at it, and it's secondary to my other consoles in the Xbox One and the PS4. So Zelda. Yep, Zelda's pretty damn awesome. And let's touch to the other thing that's really cool. So I played this last night for a couple of hours. It was in the dock. Pressed start, saved it, left it on the save screen where you can see the controller layout. And all I did was hit the power button on the dock, because there's no power button on the joy grip. So once it's plugged into these, there's no power button on this. So I'm just going to double check in case I've totally missed something. But no, there's no power button. So the bit of a pain, because like most other consoles have the power button on the controller, and Nintendo Switch doesn't. Typical Nintendo, have to be different or stubborn. You decide which one it is. So then, you have to hit the power button on the console. The good thing about it is it literally puts it in a save state. So when I open it again, it's literally good to go. So there's no need to load, there's no wait times, there's no boot time on this console. It is literally power on, and we're on. That's it. Dead easy. Another benefit is because it's got cartridges. Now, cartridges have got pros and cons. Now, the pros being that it loads up pretty much instantly. You stick the cartridge in for the first time, your game's ready to go. There's none of this installing a disc, waiting for the disc to install, then once the disc installed, you need to wait a day one patch, and all that crap's gone. So cartridge is actually not probably the way forward. Digital's the way forward, but a massive convenience aspect, I suppose. The downside of cartridges, and we've already seen it with the ukulele, is that when you put the price point out there and say, we can put this on a disc, it's 25 quid or 35 quid. Well, actually, what you're getting now with the Switch, what we've seen with third party sellers, production cost is going to be really high. So we're actually starting to see some of those discs that are going to be more expensive, which isn't great. So, other cool things, it's got a little kickstand at the back. Little kickstand, so if you're on the train, you can just like that dude on the plane, playing old Skyrim. This is the one way I don't play it. I don't play it with these two things in my hands. The reason being it's bloody cumbersome. I did it a couple of times as Zelda. The first time I did it, I was like, crap, I can't fire an arrow. This is really tough. The second time I did it, actually it worked really well. And I actually quite enjoyed it the second time around. But for me, this is not the preferred method. I'm using one of these, so there's little shoulder buttons at the top. Trying to do that and control this, that is a freaking nightmare. Now you do get little grip things you can attach to it, that come in the box when you buy the console. But for me, not great. The coolest thing about it, to be quite honest, is the little flashing lights that you get on the side. That's cool. But obviously they've got HD Rumble in them, so there's a lot of tech that goes into these little things. They are quite impressive. I know people have been saying that they've got some issues with the left Joy-Con, which is this one here for me, the blue one. That tends to be predominantly to do with your Wi-Fi, wherever you put your router. So mine's in a completely different room, the router, and the TV's over there. If I plug this in and work this way, as long as I'm within a few feet, it's absolutely fine. If I start stretching to about 6 or 8 feet, then I'm in trouble. I tend to lose connectivity. Don't know where the actual sensor is. I've heard rumours that's maybe in here. But Nintendo have been very coy about actually what the spec is, how it runs, etc. So that's one thing we'll get to talk about next. So spec-wise, it's certainly not on the power level of an Xbox One or a PS4. Now, you can look at that in two ways. I'm going to do a separate video actually on what I think it means for consoles like the Xbox One. I think it means it's great that Nintendo Switch have done this in a way. If you look at this as a home console, it's utterly underpowered, and it's probably the biggest waste of money you'll ever spend, at 350 quid compared to what else is out there. Game lineup, this won't be heavily supported by third party because the power isn't there. So if you look at a game like Shadow War that's going to come on PS4 and Xbox One later this year, there is no way that system, that game with an Nemesis system, is coming to the Switch. It's just impossible to port it. Look at the debacle they had with 360 and PS3. It just won't happen. And we'll see that with a whole range of games that we'd really like. So like FIFA, the custom build that EA said they're going to do, that's going to be like what they did with the Vita. It's going to be a custom skinned, low res game, which every year will be exactly the same. They'll just reskin it, which is pretty disappointing. I'd like to think they'll do some more, so I'll reserve judgment until they do. The other thing is the actual performance of this, when it's docked versus handheld, is very different. So if you dock this, it will render to 900p, so we're not even hitting 1080p in some games. So Zelda, for example, Breath of the Wild, huge big game. This is a launch title. It's a first party title. That they can't reach 1080p with this device. Now this is the first year. That's a bit of a worry. We don't know how long they've had it in their hands to develop the game for, but I think they've specifically had one of two things. One, they've either had a short amount of time and they've developed as best they can. They've got to 900p, so give them another year or two, and other devs and Nintendo's publishing will have to deliver the goods. The other way of looking at it is that because they are so determined to nail this on mobile, and it was also had to deliver on Wii U, where there's a decent customer base, it's not great, for the sales of this, I think what they've done is they've spec'd to the handheld version of the Switch. So as a result, what you're getting is you're getting a Switch that's actually alright, but in handheld mode. But when you put it in the dock, you're getting frame rate issues, and it's only around at 900p. So hopefully that's something they can fix in time and get a bit better at. So yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. UI wise, really fast, as I said, it's really good. Liking the screenshot feature, needs to have videos added in. And the fact you can share direct things like Facebook and Twitter is good. Although you're not going to use that a huge amount. Real big problem with it at the moment is that you can't transfer your save games. So if you're saving your games, you've got 50 hours in Zelda, for example, you can't get that off your console. So if you plan to borrow a console and trade it with someone or whatever you're doing, you can get that save file off there. No chance. That's really bad. That's a complete and utter oversight from Nintendo. I think it probably sheds a bit of worrying light onto where their online service is going to go, because it's the first foray into it properly. How good is it going to be? How reliable will it be? We've all seen how long it's taken Sony to get to a point where they've got a pretty reliable and robust online system. Nintendo have got a lot of pain to go through because they just can't jump years worth of development and experience ahead and deliver something good. If they do, I'll be absolutely gobsmacked and amazed, but I don't think they will. So yeah, that's my kind of first impressions of the Switch. I really like it. If you're a fan of Zelda, you're gonna absolutely love this thing. It is awesome. I find I'm playing it more on handheld than I am on TV. Played a good chunk on TV last night, to be fair, and it was good. I think the interesting thing, and I'll talk about in a different video, is that performance thing and how a lot of people are saying that it's actually not deterring from the game they're playing, which is really interesting considering we've had our current gen had about 3 or 4 years of constant, it needs to have this frame rate, it's crap because it's at 900p, it's crap because it's at 1080p. I think Nintendo are flipping that on its head, so I'm really glad to see that. I think it'll make gamers look at things differently, which is what we want to see. So we can maybe avoid some of the animosity. But that being said, guys, that's my initial impressions of the Nintendo Switch. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please support the channel. It helps me out a lot. It gives me the motivation to keep doing stuff. Hope you like this format video, because this is the first one I've done. And apologies, because I'm half asleep. I look like a state. And the lighting in the camera is not too great. But this is a trial. Let's see how we go. If you like it, hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Any tips, feedback, I'd love to take all those on board. And let me know what you want to see about the Switch. I've got a few articles going to pop up on the site. I've got a few, obviously, Zelda review to come. I don't want to put a review up before I've spent a decent amount of time with it. I think we've seen a trend where the guys got it really early, I've got a really good review up, and then actually what we're starting to see is some people follow it with lower score reviews, and I think the lower scores are... I reckon they're lower because I've not played enough of it personally, because I think you go through different stages with this game. It's a real learning curve. But enough about that. We'll save that for the review. So yeah, grab the console, guys. I think it's a really good one. It's got some hell of a missing features. I'm really looking forward to Virtual Console coming on it, because I skipped out in the Wii U. So there's a lot of games that I'm really looking forward to. Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, Zelda, Mario at the end of this year. And there's a whole ton of indies that are just recently announced, so go check those out if you haven't seen them. But guys, like and please subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you. Cheers.